Slavery wasn't that bad. That's what Just Pearly Things thinks. That's what she believes. The Caucasian woman that we reacted to on my channel. Make sure you check that video out because that was real interesting. I guess Piers Morgan and the podcast HD will be taking turns on Just Pearly Things. I don't really know what that means. Maybe they're interviewing her. Maybe they're just talking about her. I don't know. But we're going to see. It's going to be interesting. And I want them to drag her through the mud. Oh, it also says, will the low value women revive her career? I don't know what they're talking about. I still don't know that much about this woman. Didn't look her up after I watched that video. Saw all I needed to see.
But doesn't the sanctity of marriage also rely on the woman being a virgin, so you wouldn't be able to get married?
What?
That was petty.
But, like, how do you meet a guy that you respect because he's settling on you? Don't you see that there's a paradox here?
Oh, wow. Was that, like, the insult? Oh, this is later on. So we're getting into this.
Female Andrew Tate. So she tapped into genuine female pushback to the excesses of wokery, or is she just an attention seeker? We'll find out in a moment. But first, let's take a look at
Piers Morgan is crazy.
A lot of people think I'm insane because I don't think women should vote. Everybody thinks I'm crazy for this opinion.
I'm sorry, that dress is crazy. That dress is crazy.
Strawberry fields forever.
I would not normally care, but it's just like this girl's preaching everyone they're too masculine or whatever, they're not fit to be wives, and I'm just like, this is what I imagine a Mormon style.
Mormon.
Everybody thinks I'm crazy for this opinion. If anything, this is probably my most extreme opinion. 95% of women are not virgins on their wedding days, so I understand the complaint.
What?
Okay, well, Pearl joined.
Ooh, okay. Hey, okay, Pearl.
Let's go, Pearl. See, you can do it, Pearl. Let's go.
Hey, with a little pearl necklace. You don't think I see the
This is
type?
the best I ever seen her
Hair
looking.
groomed.
Yeah, you
She's so
did that.
proud of you.
CCM did that
She's
thing.
so proud of you.
Let's
Okay,
go.
you look at eye today.
Yeah.
You're still dumb as fuck, but you look at eye.
Good job, my girl.
Congratulations.
Good job.
Joins me now alongside political journalist Ava Santini, who was nodding furiously along there to everything she heard.
I hate this girl. This girl's always on fucking Piers Morgan.
She looks
saying
familiar.
she's so dumb.
You don't like her?
The girl beside
Yeah,
Pearl.
You don't like her?
She looks like she's a little slow.
the feminist side or like the dumb side of argument.
You don't like this?
Stop.
She was there for like the Jordan Peterson
That's
stuff
accurate.
and some of the Andrew Tate debates, and like she just always had dumb takes.
Right, Pearl, you would be called the female Andrew
The
Tate.
female
How do you
Andrew
lead?
Tate.
Well, I take it as a compliment. You know, I'm a fan of Andrew Tate.
You're talking about women predominantly, which is why you've got this big following. And your view is that modern feminism is deeply flawed. I would argue a lot of your proposals, like taking the vote away from women, are deeply regressive. Why would you want to remove, just from yourself,
Right.
the right to vote?
Well, it also goes back to responsibility. Again, men are 80 to 90% of the military. They run all of the infrastructures that make society run. So I just think if we want an equal say in society, then be equal. Do 50% of the hard jobs. Be 50% of the military. In the U.S.,
I think the whole argument about, you know, men do the more dangerous jobs, so they should be the only ones to vote is so dumb to me. Because I'm like, I'm in the military and I'm doing the more dangerous job. Why should you, a male who's a civilian, not doing a dangerous job, get to vote the same as me? Forget women. I don't give a f. The only people in your world, if we're using your logic to the extreme, why should a dude who shares the same fucking genitalia get to vote just like me if he's not doing the same job? I'm out there on the front lines dying, right? If I'm doing the military job, why should a fucking civilian be the one to tell me who I'm going to go kill and vote by voting? Why should anybody who doesn't do a hard job? But she doesn't think that because her logic, it's only gendered, okay? And it's only meant to appeal to men.
That's what it's giving. Like, she just wants to appeal to men, and I don't even think she appeals to men. You know?
Not everybody that goes to war is equal. I am sorry.
True.
Special forces, cooks on a boat, and generals.
Yeah.
This is not the same fucking danger.
Let's go.
Cook on a
Let's
boat.
go about it.
If you're on the field, you get 3 votes.
Yep.
If you're on the field, but you say on the boat, you get 1.5 votes. If you're a general, you get 75% of a vote.
See, we can't
Let's
do all
be
that.
honest about this. If danger or difficult jobs is the metric by which, then there's a lot of men who don't get to vote.
Yeah.
And what about the women who go to the military and they do the dangerous
Yeah,
jobs?
some
too?
girls do
Should they be
too.
allowed to? What about any woman who does a job which involves a lot of death? Should she be allowed to vote? She's not making a coherent logic based on the merits is just
I
gender
feel like she's just
nonsense.
talking.
I just don't understand
And she
that.
thinks
If it's
she's
just gonna
making
be about
sense. She
dangerous work,
thinks
make it
she's
about that.
actually, like,
say that the people
doing
who put their
something.
lives on the line should have the most amount to lose, and I could at least get
Yeah.
behind that.
Ava, your mouth seems to have dropped
No,
about
do you know what
I
it's
know.
sort of
I
like?
know, I
no, it's
know.
just sort of a bit galaxy brain. I feel like, you know, the stats that you're putting down are perhaps correct in some universe.
which
In some
They just
universe.
kind of don't really add up. I mean, just to take you back to the to the women's writings that you've allegedly read. I mean, at
Allegedly?
The time, well, at
What do you mean allegedly?
No.
Just let the people talk.
You know, Pearl want to make fun of feminists saying they're so masculine, but you're the one that can't shut the fuck up when someone else is talking. She let you speak. Pearl want to tell everybody how they're not right to be wives.
do you mean
but here
allegedly?
You can't shut the fuck up. You on programs, putting yourself front and center, want to make the most amount of money. Hey, I'm just saying, you the opposite of everything you're preaching. Every chance you still fuck it up. Shut up, let her speak.
Yeah,
It's
let
crazy
me-
that the feminist seems more feminine, letting her speak, speaking
Right.
softly.
She hasn't said
Pearl
a
says,
word.
allegedly. Relax,
time that
man.
you're talking about, you know, women weren't really allowed to write. They weren't allowed to go to school.
Yes, they were.
couldn't write.
Yes, they
So
were. That's
actually,
incorrect. The first
okay,
female
what year are we
property, the
talking
first
about?
female property owner was in the 1600s. The idea that women couldn't work and couldn't.
so sorry, but that will be inherited
No, the
property.
first female millionaire was in the late 1800s.
And was that?
Yeah, this is how you know Pearl is like such a disingenuous clown.
We're
They're both wrong about this. Could women work in the 16th century? Yeah, but it was limited jobs. Stuff like weaving and things that were already related to housework. And even then, they didn't have equal pay for this stuff.
No.
They didn't have any labor rights.
Like,
They
what are
weren't
we
even
talking
allowed to
about?
dictate any kind of workplace, anything the same way that men could. And they weren't allowed to occupy most occupations or jobs.
You're supposed to be at
I'm not
home
even
and
talking
be a
about stuff
mother
like
and a
factory
wife
work,
and all
just
that
any job
shit.
they weren't allowed
Could.
to have. It was very, very limited. So Pearl sitting here be like, no, the women could work.
That was
they
the
couldn't
norm.
even choose higher education. They couldn't
Yeah,
do
they
university. They
couldn't
couldn't
do
do any
that.
of this stuff. It was quartered off to them by their gender.
Yeah, but the first homeowner was in the 1600s.
Like, what are we talking
You know what I
about?
mean?
How did she get that house?
It makes me think of that
Do you
time
know
when Pearl
what was
brought up
going
that
on?
study that said
Like,
women find
you
men
know
who
what
do
was
chores
going on
really
in that
unattractive.
situation,
And
for
it's like a
or
study
you
from
just
the
reading little facts and stuff? You like,
1991.
well, that's not true because this woman did that. You don't even know the
Yo,
situation.
Yeah, in 1991. Even though she got more recent studies, she's gonna go to the
Yeah.
only number
You
that
can't prove.
basically jives with what she
But
want
you-
to say, and then she's gonna say, "I do my research."
Yeah,
Like
come on.
no.
And she does that every
It's
time
fine
I've
to
seen her
concede
on
on
this
stuff.
camera.
Yes,
She
women
does
were
that.
second-class citizens in the 16, 17, 1800s. It's okay. It's only, I think, in the 19th century where women really started to participate in the
Yeah.
labor force due to like wars and stuff like that. It was absolutely necessary. And then a lot of rights came after, in fact.
It's just Pearl doing just pearly things.
Just probably things.
Let's get on to the vote. So what I
And
don't
what is her name
understand
from?
is,
Why-
you know,
where did
a
she
part
get
of your
that?
Message. I've just, I've researched you today. And hang on a minute.
Yeah,
you know,
please
your
let her
big
talk.
push is that you care about men and you don't think that men are getting enough of a say. But
Well, I
thanks
care
to-
about
hang
women
on,
too.
I haven't
Care
made the
about women
point
too.
yet.
You know?
I've seen her. The girl didn't interrupt her a single time, and she's interrupted her 5-6 times.
Dans un point qu'elle essaie de faire. I
Yo.
can't fucking.
Pearl
calm
Stay
that
being
girl.
the less feminine girl I know.
Because of feminism.
So
Okay.
less
What I
feminine
wonder
girl.
is when you
Beast.
start making calls out like repeal the 19th, women shouldn't be allowed to vote. How is that helping young men? Because these young men have women in their lives. They have mothers, they have sisters, they have teachers, and they turn around. They don't know how to act around women because you're giving them license to be misogynistic.
I wouldn't call it misogynistic. I say be equal. So again,
I
men
think
do
that's what
all
most
of the.
feminists are
Well,
saying.
then okay, I'd love for the feminists. Please apply for the oil rigs. Please go do the hard jobs in society.
Why
They're
don't you
open.
go and
They're
work?
hiring because I don't equate for. I don't think men or women are equal until we do the.
She said, why don't you go work
Bringing
there?
up the
And she
whole
just didn't answer.
Equality thing is like, you know, maybe I'm just not aware of what's being said in these circles. But it's not like women don't contribute to our
Yeah, it's like
society
she's
in
just
terms of
saying,
the
well, we just don't
workforce.
contribute at
Women
all.
account for like, it's like 30, it's like 1/3 of the country's GDP, right? So in terms of economic contributions, in terms of their work, they're a huge contributor. If women were to do what Pearl wants them to do, which is go home, stay there, be housewives, don't have jobs, whatever the fuck it would be, economy would collapse. Like women are like integral to the workforce. So imagine looking at people who contribute so much and saying, we're gonna deny you the right to have any say in the
I'm
country.
not gonna lie, I know a lot of
Does that
women
even
out
seem
here that are
remotely
working
fair
and
to
they
you?
have
Does it
baby
make
daddies
sense
or
in
like
her logic when she
freaking
says,
dudes in
only
their
the
house
people
that
who
ain't
do the
doing
extremely
nothing.
hard jobs and
They're
the
sitting on their ass. They can't
difficult
even
stuff
keep a
are the
job,
ones
which
who
I
should
don't even
get
know
the
what that
right to
means.
vote
How can you
and
keep a
do anything?
job? Work at Wendy's, work at
Then
McDonald's.
does it make sense to
What are you
those people
talking
who are doing
about?
those jobs to see men who aren't doing those difficult jobs also get a right to vote?
You also
Right,
want-
should
you
those
don't
men that
want-
are sitting
you
at
want
home on
divorce
their
to be
ass,
made
not doing
illegal.
anything, not even
Yes.
working at a little
Yes,
fast
because I
food
don't think what we
restaurant
have today
chain,
is really marriage.
can't keep
What
a
is
job,
marriage? It's for
have the
better or
right
for
to
worse,
vote?
for richer or for poor,
Or do all
in
these little
sickness and in
things she's
health, till
talking about.
death do us part. That's what marriage is supposed to be. But feminists have ruined marriage for the people that actually believe in marriage.
How?
When there's a 50% divorce rate and the average marriage
Why is that all
8
down to the
years.
women, though?
I didn't say that it was all down to the women.
So why
But
feminists
you asked why I want divorce to be banned.
Yeah.
Can I finish
Bitch,
that first?
how?
The audacity of a bitch.
She's like, can I finish?
The
Listen, y'all.
audacity.
How'd you let anybody
Because,
finish?
right, she didn't let nobody else talk.
That don't let nobody finish. My guy,
Hey,
press play.
my
Jesus
masculine
fuck-
homie.
Can I finish?
I'm about to start calling her just masculine.
Right, like, are you a man?
That's gonna be her new nickname. Just masculine things.
Just manly things.
Just manly things. Yay, we about to call her say, hey,
She
that's
wants
a
to
new
be
nickname
man.
for
She
Pearl.
wishes she's a man.
We were just lonely things to just
Apparently.
manly things. Okay, let's keep going. Big
Leave marriage for the people that actually believe in for better or for worse, for richer or for poor, in sickness and in health, till death do us part.
Doesn't the sanctity of marriage also rely on the woman being a virgin, so you wouldn't be able to get married?
Woo! Woo!
That was petty.
Let's go!
That was petty.
Tell me you're a whore.
Stop.
Girl didn't want to make any arguments. She said, we going petty.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at you.
I looked it up.
Because I enjoy it.
You not a virgin.
Also, I hate whenever fucking Pearl says these vows because they involve so many other things.
Yeah.
And she never mentions that.
She
never
Never
mentions
talks
that?
about the labor
That's
involved in
her-
marriage.
that's her
She
re-
just says you can't leave.
That's a remix.
Yeah.
That's the remix.
And also, Pearl's fine with men stepping out of the marriage.
not
Christianity allows for divorce in case of adultery.
What do
Period.
you mean?
Well,
She
you've
said, what do
spoken
you
quite
mean?
openly about how you're not a virgin, and so if you want to preserve that sanctity
What's
of marriage,
funny?
I
then,
think,
I just think that you're upholding standards that you
Look
don't
at her.
actually
I mean, look at him.
It's just
He said, I'll let them go at it.
anyone here for some
Stop.
biscuits?
The zoom on his face is
This
amazing.
dude just went.
He said he
and
don't
went
gotta say
back and
nothing.
watched
He
it.
would be the one talking, right?
You know what's so funny? There's actually a clip that's so hilarious.
What?
You look at men, right, in terms of like their viability. You look at men and say, he's a high value man, he's a medium value man, he's a low value man, right? And we could say that. We can put men into those categories. Okay. So let's say you're in the dating field, right? You're looking for a partner.
Why is he looking like
What do
that?
you mean?
I
What
mean,
is
you're single,
confusing?
essentially, I
You're
guess, and
single, you
looking
can't
for
find
single.
anyone,
Maybe, maybe
right?
not.
Okay.
Just
Please.
manly thinks is single.
Okay.
Just laughing.
So, if you're looking for men, if a man who is willing to settle, let's say you're not that old, but you're 26, and you say that anyone over 25 is like almost damaged goods or getting worse and worse,
No.
it's less valuable. It's less valuable.
Correct. Yes, I would
Yeah.
say I was more valuable 5 years ago. Yes, in terms of the dating market. Yes.
So do you think that how can somebody who's older and not a virgin and less valuable, how can they get in a relationship with a man and not think they're a loser? Because if you're a low value woman, then in a sense you be judging the guy who's quote unquote settling for you because he couldn't get a higher value woman.
Right.
So
Huh?
in a sense, a guy
I
that
feel
you would
like-
settle for would be a loser by your own metrics. Low value.
Well, what are men supposed to do? 95% of women aren't virgins on their wedding days. You could be a multimillionaire and not get a virgin.
How do you?
But I think that's why you see more men walking away from relationships.
Because they're not
No,
virgins?
No, no, no.
Wait.
How do you
Yeah.
enter a relationship and not think
Huh?
that he's a loser because he's low value?
I don't really know how to answer that question.
But it is interesting, right? Because in a sense, only a low value man, and I'm sorry, I'm only framing this in your worldview. Let's say a medium value man would
Medium.
decide to settle on somebody like you who's a little bit older, not as fertile, you're not a virgin. And also, I'll tell you something else. You like being in the foreground, which is not good for traditional marriages. I mean, he's looking for someone who wants to build a home. You don't know how to cook.
Yeah,
either.
I don't expect to be with like a high value guy. I think that's silly.
Okay. What's your
like when I think of high value, I think of like top 5% of men.
So what value do you think
Very-
you'll be settling on in your own personal life?
What?
So this
This
the
is
most petty
crazy
thing, but he's not wrong.
at all.
But this is petty. But I'm here for
'Cause
it.
why are you speaking?
What
and
value
You're
will I
low.
be settling on in my
Yeah, what
personal
man do you think is reasonable for you to pursue?
I just kind of, I think that's a bit of a inappropriate like question.
Oh, it's an
but-
inappropriate question,
You mean
but
it's
saying that
inappropriate?
slavery is not
So,
bad, that's not
You
inappropriate.
call women born out baby mamas.
And
you be
yeah.
asking women on your show all kinds of things about their dating lives and their dating preferences.
I don't
That's
know
your
if you did all
fucking
that.
job.
And now shit is
Now it's
It's
turned on
inappropriate
you all
because
of a
we're
sudden
talking about
wanna
you
start
now.
stuttering?
that shit is inappropriate now.
I hate girls. I mean, I hate.
Girl, have you seen your chick?
I hate.
Damn.
Let me
I've
stop.
heard you call women whales to their face, say they're unfit to be wives, say they're unfit to this and that.
Nah,
Cause
this-
she
And
gonna
now
make
it's
me
you?
say some
Like,
crazy stuff that I
what
don't
happened,
mean.
Baby, you built the chair, now sit in it.
What happened, boo?
I don't like ottomans either, but it matches your hair. Stupid.
The way you say stupid hit different.
Yeah.
Because there's a little bit of air in that shit.
I got that from the New Yorkers.
No.
Yeah,
No, that's
stupid.
not a,
Stupid.
no.
Who said that?
No, because you put a little bit of air in there.
6ix9ine?
That flows better. Stupid. That's Brooklyn and Queens. You?
Nah,
It flows.
I don't say it with the intonation.
No.
But it is the same vibe. Stupid.
It's not-
That's
it's
it.
not
That's
the
the
same
one right
vibe.
there.
It's interesting because you spend like all day talking about this stuff. I find that it's really interesting
Right.
to have
Talks
you
about it all the
and
time, but then
put
she
this
can't,
analysis into
she
you.
can't
How-
answer.
Why is it
Well, 'cause the way
inappropriate?
you're framing the question.
The
is a
way
bit
that you frame
disingenuous.
everything seems a little.
I think most women, in,
Disingenuous.
You know,
How is
by,
it disingenuous?
She's
yeah,
pissing me
I
off.
think it's a bit disingenuous.
Why?
Okay.
See, this is the
She
thing
pissed
about
me
Pearl.
off.
If you just ask follow-up questions and try to dig deeper in anything she says, it falls
Right.
apart. She just says buzzwords.
She says she does the same
Twitter is
thing
just
every
buzzwords.
time I've
Everything
seen
is
her on this
buzzwords.
camera.
She's got the surface level argument like a fucking robot.
She's like,
She got
I don't know how to
prompt
answer
one,
that.
Prompt two, prompt three. That's why
I feel like
whenever
that
he
question
asks a
doesn't really
follow-up
make
question
sense.
to go deeper, she just defaults back to her talking points. Like, well, no man can find a woman who's a virgin. Even millionaires won't be able to.
Right, and then
So
she
we're
starts
not
talking about other
Well,
stuff
why
that no
are you
one's
changing
talking
the
about.
subject? It's
Every
because
time.
She doesn't
Something wrong
actually
with
think
her?
through anything she says.
Is she okay?
And that's actually reflected in her audience because her channel is dying.
Rosie.
And it just turns out her audience, after listening to her for a while, just realized she's a robot and she's really dumb. But you don't see it until you actually start to peer back and listen long enough. You're like, wait, this doesn't make sense. So now she's being exposed everywhere.
Like, I think it's fair
I
to
don't know
say,
who
'cause
was
you
ever
were
her
talking to
audience.
women about expectations and men about expectations based on their value. I think it's fair to say, okay, well, what's your value of man you're looking for based on your own,
What's my value to a guy that I'm
No, no,
looking
no, no.
for?
What
Is
value?
she
No,
dumb?
I wish I don't know what you want me to say. Like, I wish I was a virgin. You know, I should have
No,
waited.
no, no.
Like, I don't know what. Like, I don't. You know, most guys don't expect that in 2023. Unfortunately, I think men adapt to the market, but I think to say that you should just sleep around.
So then,
That's what you're saying.
so if men have adapted and you don't really care, then why are you still bringing this fucking shit up? Why are
Still
you telling
talking
women
about
they're
it.
wrong if they're not
Right.
virgins? Men don't care. I can honestly say I've met a lot of dudes, okay? And aside from the ones who are hyper religious, none of them care about virginity. Now, obviously, they don't want some girl who's got an OnlyFans just popping out her pussy every weekend. But they don't care if she's a virgin. I don't think I've ever heard any of my homies be like, yo, she better not fuck
That's
nobody.
crazy.
If I heard a guy say that, I probably think he's a
Yeah.
loser too. Unless he's got religious reasons, then that's fine. And also to all the men who aren't virgins but demand that they women while being like religious, you goofy as
Yeah.
fuck too.
You're a
lot of
loser
religious
if
dudes
you're
wanna be the
really
most
hyper
nasty,
religious
degenerate
and you're
motherfuckers, and
expecting
use
that.
religion to tell women
And
how to
you wanna
act. It's like, bruh, that
change
religion
people.
also has clauses for you as
Yeah.
a man. Just saying. You a bit of a
Yeah.
hypocrite. Actually, no, you're a big hypocrite,
Yeah.
and I'm saying it.
She a hoe?
He said everything I needed to say.
Yeah, you out here spreading all kinds of nastiness. Don't even
Yeah, let's
play
talk
that.
about you. What are you
is a
doing?
bit silly.
That's
that
not
you
what I'm
think-
asking. I'm asking.
Well, that you were saying that like that more partners is good. I think that's a bit silly.
No, no, okay,
I
but
think
hold
it's
on. I'm
silly
talking
to
about
say
you,
like
Pearl.
that.
I'm talking about you. Your value by your own metrics is going to be not super high. So,
Yeah, it's less high than it was 5 years ago.
but it's not even just the age thing. It's like you are working. You're in the foreground. You don't know how to cook. These are not good things for your scorecard.
Hey, I'm actually pretty good now. I've gotten.
You have a
gotten
cook.
lot better.
Okay,
I've
good.
gotten
You're
a lot
working
better.
towards it, but unfortunately, with age,
Started-
those
I've
things are going to
started
bounce out.
Yeah, I mean,
God.
sometimes like you start in a certain place in life, but all you can do is improve and get better.
Wow, so progressive. Oh my God.
No.
See, Pearl, when she's past her prime and her value's low, what does she say? She starts sounding like them women.
I'm better. I'm better.
You
I
can
improve.
improve.
I'm glad she is. She's sounding like
You
all the
didn't
other
improve.
women out
It's
here
too
that
late.
According to you.
It's-
don't
according
want
to
to, you
you.
know.
But like, how do you meet a guy
I agree
that
with
you
her.
respect because he's settling on you? Don't you see that there's a paradox here?
I mean, if you respect men, you don't like.
But how are you
What?
going to settle for a low value man? Because like that, it's like, dude, come on, like
A low value man.
a low value man?
I think if you get married, you're lucky to get married.
How would you? So, where's your value as a
See your
woman? Would you
eye?
say, like on a scale of 1 to 10?
I didn't notice that until
I give
just now.
myself like a 5.
Facts. Sorry, I'll stop with that. I don't want to keep going.
I love the fact that, you know, as what Pearl is doing is basically pushing all these men to get all those girls. So there's a
So
hypothetical.
what is this doing for her?
All those men get all those girls. She's just like, yes, guys, you got it. You got it. You got all those.
What is this doing
Your
for
eye value
her?
and you got all those girls. And those girls are not me.
At all.
You guys did it. Woo. So proud. I'm so lonely. You see all these guys succeeding and they're not choosing you. That's what you're pushing them not to take. It's weird.
It's very weird. It's like,
And you're scolding all the women that are trash.
yeah. Like you're not
yo,
trash.
You in the trash right
You're
now.
in a dumpster.
And you're looking at me like, well, you in the trash too. You're in the bin with me. So it's like you're telling all these girls, what are you doing, man? You stepping in shit.
I can't even understand the
stepping in
benefit
That's why.
of this.
I don't know.
Me watching these two back
She
to
cares
back,
about
I'll
men
say
that
this,
much?
I thought the girl that Pro was debating did a terrible job.
Yeah.
But hey, you know what? Hopefully we'll see Pro back on Pierce and it'll be more interesting in the future.
It's not gonna.
But yeah, I mean, you know, any opportunity to duck on Pro.
It makes me want to watch the Piers Morgan thing fully because they kind of cut it off right at the place where it was like getting turned up. Like,
just
get
anything to
her.
get that work. What do you mean pause? How's that gay?
It's not necessarily gay when you say pause, by the
Is
way.
it
They
gay
always
to-
talking about some pause stuff every single video. So it always
It's not
happens.
just gay. It's not just a gay thing. When it's sexual, you say pause. It's not just gay.
It's just gay, but anyway.
Cool.
But yeah, that's pretty much all my thoughts on this. Anything else you want to say? All right, well, let us know what you guys think in the comments below.
Okay. That was a good video. I was very interested. I was very invested because this chick really be having me, I don't want to say triggered, a little triggered because I be popping off little moments. But she's crazy. What is she talking about? She's literally in the dumpster, like they said. She's in the trash with all these other people that she's talking about, women that she's talking about. And she sounds just like them because she thinks it's very inappropriate to ask her these questions that she's literally asking to women or targeting women for. Are you dumb? Like, if anybody said what a pick-me is, because I don't know what a pick-me really is, but if anybody can give the definition of a pick-me, this is that. She is a pick-me, and she is the definition. Right there, a representation. Please, babe. Okay, that's all that I'm gonna say because I can keep going on and on about all these little points. Thanks for watching. Request more videos. Bye.